My girlfriend's sister wiped her hand after shaking mine, called me a delivery boy, and ordered plain chicken for me without asking because workers have simple palates. 5 minutes later, her face turned ghost white when an elderly couple thanked me for covering their anniversary dinner at my restaurant. I'd been dating Veronica for 3 months when she said meeting her older sister was necessary before marriage. I wore jeans and kept my role as owner of the restaurant quiet because I'd learned people treat you differently when they see dollar signs. Gwen showed up late, sneered at my clothes, dismissed me as a food service worker, and wiped her hand after shaking mine. She never saw the truth coming. Gwen didn't stop there. At brunch with her mother June, she dropped hints about me being another starving startup guy, clearly fishing for June's disapproval. Veronica squeezed my hand under the table, but stayed silent. I kept calm, slicing my pancake slowly, knowing this was more than ego, it was sabotage. June nodded along, oblivious or in denial. I knew Gwen had power here, but I also knew she was betting on me staying silent. Soon after, Gwen escalated, posting fake negative reviews about my restaurant and anonymously reporting health violations. Veronica was torn, trying to mediate while her mother urged patience. James, my longtime employee, discovered the reviews came from Gwen's office. But when I showed June, she dismissed it as coincidence. I printed everything, filed a formal complaint, and waited. The system didn't care about emotion, it needed facts, and Gwen underestimated how much evidence I had. Then Gwen began whispering to Veronica that I was using her to rebrand my restaurant, calling it a charity case for social media optics. It worked. Veronica started pulling away, asking odd questions, second-guessing my intentions. I almost snapped when she asked if I'd staged our meet cute, but James urged patience. People like Gwen implode when ignored, he said. That night, I started gathering screenshots, statements, anything to lay out the truth piece by piece. At a family dinner, I quietly handed June and Veronica a folder, Gwen's emails coordinating fake reviewers and payments to a shady pre-firm. Gwen laughed it off, calling it a prank gone wrong, but Veronica went pale. June froze, finally realizing Gwen's sabotage wasn't imaginary. Still, she muttered, "Families forgive." I stared at her, silent. It wasn't about forgiveness, it was about damage. Veronica clutched my arm, whispering, "I didn't know, I'm sorry." The twist came at Gwen's charity gala. I donated anonymously under the restaurant's name, and when the host publicly thanked Mason Brooks, Gwen's face dropped. Whispers rippled through the room, guests looked between me and the event banners. Gwen tried to pivot, claimed I'd bribed my way in, but then James stood up, microphone in hand, and told everyone who really funded the scholarships. Gwen turned red, her mask cracked. The sabotage had gone public. Gwen tried one last trick, tears, claiming she was just trying to protect Veronica. But this time, Veronica stood firm. "You didn't protect me, you manipulated me." The room stayed quiet. June looked down, ashamed. I didn't gloat. I simply thanked the guests, shook hands, and left with Veronica. In the car, she asked if we could start over on our own terms. That night, we cooked in my restaurant's kitchen, just us. The symbol wasn't food, it was freedom. Months later, Gwen moved cities quietly. June began visiting our restaurant weekly, always bringing fresh flowers for the hostess stand. One evening, she whispered, "I was wrong about you. I see it now." Veronica smiled across the room as I plated our signature dish. We married in a community garden behind the restaurant, surrounded by people who saw us clearly. Gwen wasn't there, but her absence wasn't bitter. It was a boundary finally respected. He stayed. Thanks for watching. Hit subscribe to check out more stories on my channel.